Hello everyone, and welcome back to Buzz Banter. I'm Mo with this week's episode of Buzz Duels. We're talking about World War Z, and I'm going to tear this zombie flick a new one. So, let's get right into it. World War Z, movie about zombie apocalypse, and actually, I'll admit, one of the better ones made. But I'm not here to defend it, I'm here to take it apart and tell you all the things that are wrong with this film. First of all, and most importantly, these zombies just get goofy. They keep making like this weird clicking, screeching sound at the back of their throat that gets really annoying. There's this one portion of the film that's supposed to be really tense with Brad Pitt in this room and a zombie that can see him through the glass and it's just waiting there. And they try to be creepy with it. It's just got like this tick and it's like chomping its teeth at it. And all you hear is the audience laughing. I mean, come on. This is just sad. You can't have what is supposed to be a tense moment be unintentionally funny. That fails. It's terrible. And it happens throughout this film. You could hear the audience laughing at all of the wrong moments in this film. And it's really sad. On top of that, there's a whole bunch of little inconsistencies throughout the film. First inconsistency. Bear in mind this is going to be a very spoiler-full review, so you might as well stop now if you haven't seen the film. Spoiler-full review. Keep going on. The inconsistencies, little Spanish kid somehow survives. There's only one way out of his apartment. Brad Pitt and family have already left and are going up to the roof. Zombies at his door, the only exit, bust in. He manages to somehow get around them, get by all the zombies that Brad Pitt is fighting on the stairs and throwing back down the stairs, and get out the doorway, and no one thinks there's something wrong with this? I mean, really? That is just insane. You need to have like the luck of the Irish and have killed like 4 black cats and put 3 mirrors back together to have that kind of good luck. It doesn't happen. That's just really out there. It's messed up. So, and the zombie plague itself is really weird. How does this thing spread? Well, apparently it's just by the bite. The zombie virus, whatever it is, doesn't actually cause the host to eat people. They just bite them, infect them, and then they run off and try to infect the next person. Here's the issue with that. Brad Pitt swallows some of the zombie saliva. He doesn't change. So exactly what is it? What medium by which is this moving on? Does like a part of the tooth have to break off in the victim or something? It doesn't make sense. Like, if it's a matter that it needs to enter the bloodstream, go on to Wikipedia and search up how glucose enters your body. It goes directly through your mouth into your bloodstream. You have a fantastic amount of blood flow going through your tongue, and it's fairly close to the surface. That's probably why your tongue bleeds so much when you cut it. It's also why, if you bite through your tongue, you will drown in your own blood. So yeah, the whole saliva thing, it doesn't really make sense here. Now, there was another bit in this movie that I really didn't like. Israel's defense to the zombie plague and why they come up with it. Prior to the actual breakout of this plague, they had heard reports that seemed ridiculous. The word zombie was thrown around. And so they explained that there have been so many instances in the history of the Jewish people where they believed to their core this couldn't happen, and then something terrible happened to them. So what they have set up now in Israel is a council where everyone votes, and if everyone votes unanimously that, hey, no, nothing's going to happen, if there's even one person that votes against the majority, they mount a defense. So by that logic, if I release a whole bunch of monarch butterflies into Israel, and some people take this as a threat, or not, 9 people out of the council say, no, nothing's happening. But one guy, the 10th vote, goes, no, these monarch butterflies may be malicious. They'll kill every monarch butterfly that crosses their border. Because that's the logical conclusion then, isn't it? It's a ridiculous notion. It works out in this movie to their benefit without a doubt, but like come on, that system in itself, why would you ever come up with something like that? That's so contrived, it's so BS. What really gets me about that, though, is the guy that voted and said that, you know what, maybe the zombie thing is real. When he's introduced to us, his personnel file says that he's a very unimaginative individual. And yet he believes that a zombie apocalypse is starting? Really? The guy whose personnel file, the thing that describes him to everyone, says that he is not imaginative. He's the one that votes I to defend against the zombies that aren't here yet. That's just astounding. Moreover, they have a nice little scene, well, what seems like a nice little scene, where you have the old city of Jerusalem behind these massive walls. And they're letting people into the city after checking to make sure they're not bitten or anything, through a series of buses and trucks that are going through this fenced tunnel that these zombies are attacking. We've already seen that these zombies are attracted to sound. Well, I should say Brad Pitt has seen that these zombies are attracted to sound. No one else seems to have noticed that because they continue to make noise around them. Why is it that the zombies haven't gang-piled onto those fences? Because if these things are just driving through the desert to try and get to the one safe haven, they're the only things making noise out there. So shouldn't the zombies be clamoring all over those fences trying to get at the juicy morsels inside that are continuing to make noise? You know, an internal combustion engine isn't a very quiet device. They really should have piled on and just collapsed the thing and, you know, run amok. No, we're not doing that? It makes too much sense? Okay, let's move on then. Why is it that the zombie that is on the plane isn't heard? There's people up above it, they're in the air for several hours, and yet unlike all the other zombies that you see that are like wailing at wherever they're hearing sound coming from or wherever the prey is, they just leave it alone. Right? No. No, they don't. Like, we saw them just wailing at the things and just going, I want in there. And it doesn't happen with the one on the plane. No one hears this thing, like, bouncing around downstairs. And so, of course, the stewardess brings up the little stock elevator thing and, surprise, zombie! Oh no, it's on the plane! Also, another thing that bothered me about this film, there's no Wilhelm scream. I mean, if any movie deserves a Wilhelm scream, it's this one. There are people falling all over the place. There are people getting sucked out the side of the airplane. Why is there no Wilhelm scream? I want to scream, and it's not there. Okay, back to the actual points. Brad Pitt's wife, well acted. I understand her role. She's also goddamn useless. She is actually more of a liability than anything else. Does she manage to convince them to keep her and her daughters on the ship? No, she does not. Does she actively help them when they're trying to escape? No, she just ties the kids together and nearly gets raped in the supermarket, which, admittedly, not her fault, and I'm probably going to get flack for that. So, okay, I retract that point, but she doesn't exactly help them out too much on their way out. She just keeps a fairly level head. Until she's on the ship alone, at which time, when she has been told by her husband, who she knows is going into a hostile environment, I will call you, she decides to call him, and manages to nearly get everyone killed, including her husband. I mean, for God's sakes, what the hell? You know what he did for a living. You've seen what the world is like now. You know that he will call you, as he has said so. But your own insecurities won't let you trust him this time? I mean, really? You've trusted him up to this point. Now is when you're having issue? Really? That's incredible. So, and this is a very, very big portion of the film that bothers me. As it turns out, the weakness of the zombies is that they refuse to infect anyone that is weak. Either they're physically crippled, or they have some sort of terminal illness, or they're very old, because being old is a terminal illness. Brad Pitt notices this inside of 2 or 3 seconds, just going, hey, wait, they're ignoring these people. Wait, that kid was bald. Kids usually aren't bald unless they've got the kid cancers. Hey, that old guy, he was just standing there looking confused. Well, and they ignored him. Well, no one else that was standing there getting confused got ignored, so maybe it was because he was old. Bear in mind why this is ridiculous. Hospitals. Yeah, apparently, after the zombie rush goes over a place, you would have doctors turned into zombies and no one else. So you would essentially have civilization at these hospitals where sick and old people are doing what they can for the other people in the hospital, and everyone's alright because the zombies are just totally ignoring them. They could probably just live in the hospital with zombies just wandering around the halls and into and out of people's rooms, and they would be fine. There's a massive amount of people that just would not be infected. And it's little things like that when you think about it, it's just ridiculous. And it's one of the strengths that the book had over this movie. The book made sense. This doesn't. It continuously falls apart with these little inconsistencies. And here's the one that really got to me. This one, it took me a minute to think it through, but when I realized it, it really got to me. This is with regards to how all of these various regions survive. It was something that was in the book that they brought over to the movie, and I enjoyed it, but the more I thought about it, the more of a problem that I had with it. Let's run through the list. Russia, we see that you have people that hide out in the underground tunnels and defend them because they're choke points and everything, and they're easier to defend, and you can fight off the zombies, and they'll come in waves, or eventually you'll kill all the ones in an area, and you can just live underground for a while. Okay, fair enough. You did that in a couple of wars. Israel's response: build a giant wall. Okay, sure, why not? They've done it before, it worked out for a while. Alright. North Korea: remove everyone's teeth so no one can pass on the infection. Actually fairly smart. It's clever. It is clever. We've seen at other points in the movie that apparently the only way to get infected is to have them draw blood with their teeth. Take away the teeth, you have a few people get infected, but you kill the ones with the teeth, those people can just gnaw on you with their gummy mouths and just be generally annoying. And that's it. Canada, apparently we've got healthcare so it doesn't spread to us, which is why Nova Scotia, it's zombie free. Come stay over here for a while. We'll take care of you. Yeah, it's in the movie. America's response: if you know people in high places, you get to survive. That's it. No, then really, that's it. Go back and watch the movie. All of the people that get onto a military ship, they're either senators or business executives. These aren't the average run-of-the-mill people. Brad Pitt is evacuated because he's needed by the top brass. They aren't picking up other survivors. They pick up his family and the one little boy with the luck of, the super Irish. But they're only there for him. They're not evacuating the masses. They're just leaving them to die. Makes you feel secure in your life, doesn't it? Anyway, the movie's definitely got its flaws. Check out Tom's video for what he liked about the film and the overall score. Until we meet next time, I'm Mo. You've been watching Buzz Banter. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow us on our parent website of boxofficebuzz.com. We also have a podcast. It goes up once every 2 weeks, 2 weeks, which is just all of us nerding out and having fun. You can find that on buzzbanter.com. And until next time in our next episode, which I think is actually one of my segments. I'm Mo. Have a good one.